average Joe. Not the average Joe. Hey besties, wait, are we live? We're live. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Thanks for joining me on this journey. We done made it to YouTube, y'all. We gonna talk about these basic brows, but first you'll need a brow pencil. This is the one that I use. I'm also traveling, so it gets real basic. A double-ended spoolie and angled brush. Make sure it has two sides. Listen, it doesn't get any basic than this. Dual side makeup sponge. Let me tell you about the LA Girl HD Pro Concealer. My tint is in a fawn, but you can get whatever shade or tint that works for you. Let's get into it. Y'all, it is early, okay? I don't got no makeup on my face. You see? So make sure you are working with a clean set of brows. Did I say it was early? Whew. So let's start with brushing the brow up. So in an upward motion, you're using the spoolie end of the angled brush to just brush the hairs upward. And again, look, this is how I do it, and this is the most basic way I do my brows, but there is a more up-to-date, modern way to do brows, and we'll progressively get there. But for right now, let's use this pencil, and I'll show you how to make your brows look good the basic way. So right here, we're just outlining the brow. I know I do it by hand. I'm just so used to it, y'all. Oh my gosh. So everybody's brows are different, and it gets frustrating at times, but as you're learning and as you're going, it's gonna become easier. So you see that? You guys remember when y'all was in like grade school and we had to color? Yeah, use the Crayola box to color, and we create the lines. Well, this is all we're doing. We're shading within the lines. And how I like to explain it is, it's gonna go from light to dark. So at the very front of your brow, it's gonna be lighter than the very end of your brow, which is gonna be darker. And we're gonna just shade away. So notice as I'm shading, I'm intentionally only shading like outside of the very front part of the brow, only because it gets crazy and we want there to be a nice smooth transition. Oh, I look a little crazy. But yeah, I mean, there's several times that, you may look a little crazy, and that's okay. But you got to pay attention to how you're brushing the hairs at this point. So we're brushing it from the inside out. We want that smooth transition. So think of ombre. That's what we want to give. Like, we're going from light to dark. We want that smooth transition. So I'm gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. I'm gonna brush it from the inside out towards the middle. So it should create like this beautiful unibrow. And we're gonna just rinse and repeat. So I'm just laying the hairs down at this point, but I do look crazy. Whoa. Yeah, anyway. So typically when I do my eyebrows, I got music on, I'm jamming. Right now, I am in a concentrated state of mind, okay? So at this point, we're blending the product into the brow, and then we have a new motion, which is upward. So we're gonna begin to brush up and over, up and over. Blend that all in. We want it to be up, just so that it can lay and blend right on in. Yeah, you see? You see? Not so bad. I mean, you gotta trust the process. So I see that I want my brows a little darker at the ends. So I'm just going in with my pencil again to make sure it's just a little darker so that I can have that pop effect. Because again, I wanna show that transition. The unibrow is forming, but it's not there yet. But this is how we get it. So I'm going to show you how much of the concealer you need on your brush. I know everyone's technique may be different, but because I do not wear like foundation on my face or like have like full blown makeup on my face, I literally just put dabs on the brush itself, because then it makes it easier to like remove the excess concealer. And that's perfect for me because I'm not putting on a whole bunch of makeup and eyeshadow and all that good stuff. This is like my go-to. And I'm basically just putting some on the brow, underneath the brow, and just like slowly, part by part, applying the concealer. And that's all we need. So in this particular step, we're gonna take it brow section by section and just place a little bit of it underneath the brow. Now, it requires a steady hand. So if your hands are shaking, it's gonna affect the lines, baby. So please try to have a steady hand, and you got to continue to look. Look in that mirror, make sure it's straight, and you just wanna even out the product. That's it. You see? Now we're gonna do the same thing on the top. Just a little bit of product on the brush, and then we're gonna outline the top. Now I do it section by section, starting from the end, and it's a straight line. And then you work your way all the way to the beginning of the brow. And we're literally just following the already outlined brow. Now here's the thing, in this step, you can make it as thick as you want it, as thin as you want it. This is the time, if you messed up, in the outline phase and steps, no worries, sis. You can go back and do this little magic trick and straighten out them lines. This is what people gonna see. So you want to make sure it's right. This is the time to make sure it's right. So we're gonna rinse and repeat. I know you probably noticed this already, that the side of the brow that I'm working on is a little bit thicker than the opposite end, you see? So what I'm about to do is just make it a lot more even by chopping off a little bit of the bottom. You see like what the concealer does? It does a beautiful job at removing any issues. If it's too thick, this is the time to go in on that brow. Yeah, that looks about right. Same thing, but for the top, because this brow that I'm working on is a little bit thicker. We're gonna make sure that it evens out. So take your time. Typically, it takes me about 10 minutes to do my brows. But for the sake of this video, obviously it's very detailed and it's the extended version. But normally a little less than 10 minutes to do my brow, which means it's about 4 to 5 minutes per brow. I mean, that's not bad. Later on, I'll show you some tips and some tricks because, I found that after going a long period of time with your eyebrows, if you use this method, it started to look greasy. I don't know about your face, but my face gets oily in the middle of the day. I got some pieces. Just keep watching. But yeah, back to the brow. We're just taking it piece by piece, little by little. And I do need to re-up on some concealer because I'm struggling. But again, this is my little travel kit. I travel light, y'all. So let's get this unibrow. Let's go. You have unlocked the unibrow level. You see that? Unlock it, girl. Unlock it. Don't be scared of it. Don't be scared. Period, pool. Tried to tell y'all. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. It gives us the transition that we need. You see? I still look crazy. So just going in underneath those brows, I need it to be identical twins. I mean, I'm okay if they not twinning, but that's what we always gonna strive for. Jolie, what time it is? What time it is? What time it is? It's time to blend, blend, blend. Now this is the time where we remove the excess concealer. Just remove it by going in the same direction of your brow. We're just carefully removing the product and making sure that we're not touching the line of your brow. You see? Like get close up in there. So we're gonna do that to all sides of your brow until it looks more like your natural skin. That's what we're aiming for. So you're gonna get as close as you can to the line of your brow without touching the line of your brow, because then it gets ugly and you're gonna have to go back with the pencil. We're not trying to do that. So you see? That's what we need right now. Now we're gonna use the opposite end of the sponge to do the top. It's a lot more skinny, so you can be more precise. This is the precision that we need. So here's what I like to do. I like to take my double-ended spoolie and angled brush and clean it off, right? So make sure you remove the product. And then I like to go back in to make the line a lot more precise. This also removes even more product from that particular brow. Something I like to do as an extra step. Again, you can do what works for you in this process. You can take whatever you want away from the process and leave the rest. This is just helping, perfect the skill that you already have. See? And you already know, because it's a set of 2, we're also going to complete the same motion, the same steps on the other side. Now, I will tell y'all this. The other side needed a little bit more love, for sure. But you gonna see. Summons the brow corrector. You see, I done took off too much off that brow, and now I have to go back, do that little outline. I have to get the pencil again, and we gonna make sure to correct it. And we may need to put a little bit more product on there, but this brow will live to see another day. Shoot, the light of day. This brow will be great again. And that's what you gotta know. Like, in this process, it will have its ups and downs, but just know that if you follow the steps, if you learn the techniques, you'll get to some good brows. And this is just a great way of showing you like how the product can get on the pencil, which then gets on your brow, and then you have to like shade it in again. But literally, we're doing the same thing with coloring it in. We're remaining calm. Remember, we're not coloring all the way to the front. We're gonna take the brush it in. We still want to keep our unibrow. And then we're gonna do the same thing. So I want you to come closer on this part, because you'll see where my pencil begins, and we don't want that little dot to show. So we're gonna make sure that we pencil in all the little marks that you see, and then we're gonna blend. And this is nothing new to you. We're blending from the inside out to further create that unibrow. And then we just go back in with a little bit of concealer to make sure it's a definitive line. Go girl. I believe in you. Mm-hmm. It looks like this time around I'm taking a little bit more time because I bet you won't do it again. I bet you won't do it again. Don't take off another chunk of your eyebrow. That's what I thought. So yeah, now we just making sure everything is even and nice because again, we want somewhat identical, if not identical. So I know some of y'all were wondering like, how's she gonna get rid of that unibrow? Voila, magic. So I do it at an angle. So I start removing it with that sponge brush at an angle. I just go in and start just removing it from the front. Remember, we didn't put so much product in the front to begin with. So we cleaned off the brush again and we just tightening up that line. Because though we're removing the unibrow, we need transition. We're taking off the excess product and we're gonna rinse and repeat. I'm going in with a few final touches just to make sure the look comes together. Okay, sometimes I can be like a perfectionist, pero está acabado. Didn't I tell y'all we were gonna come out of this looking like somebody? I am somebody. Yeah. I mean, now I gotta get the rest of my life together. It's 6 o'clock in the morning, but you know what? Brow's done. Ready to slay all day, boo. Listen, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Trust me, there's levels to this brow game. I'm gonna catch y'all up to 2024, but this will do. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, besties.
Like, comment, and subscribe.